Hi there, my name is Derek Espalas, and I'm going to be your instructor for Cohort 9 for Business Communication. So what I want to do in this video is I want to go ahead and give you some of my background, essentially why should you listen to me. I want to go ahead and map out why we should care about business communication, go over the syllabus with you so we can save some class time, and then go over some goals for this class. So I hope some of you noticed what I just did there. I just laid out a pathway for us. That's something we're going to go over later when we're doing presentations. And even in your business writing, laying out a pathway for communicating lets people know where is this going. So as you can see already, you know what to expect from this message. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about myself. I live in Tucson, Arizona. That's that bright light back there. Before that, I grew up in Los Angeles, and I grew up in a family business. So anytime you walk into a restaurant, look in the kitchen, you see all that stainless steel in there. I've made many of those kitchens. By the time I was in high school, I was managing our own family restaurants. So I have a business background and have always worked in small businesses. It's just kind of my comfort zone. From there, I went off to Indiana University to study literature. And Indiana University is one of the top national party schools, so didn't quite finish that. After that, kind of walked into owning a production company, so putting on concerts both in clubs and on big stages for touring bands, which was really great, did really well. It just came with a lifestyle, and it was just a lifestyle that at the time I grew out of. So it was time to move on to something new. Enrolled in a community college. So I've been in community college. I know the pathways on it. I know the benefits of it too. It took me a while though to find out what I wanted to do. So I kept signing up for a class, dropping out, signing up for a class, dropping out. So I know the pathway isn't easy because you have other things going on in your lives. At the same time, I started a commercial cleaning business. So just going into office spaces late at night and cleaning up, which was actually really great. Love it. You know when something's clean, when it's not clean, when the job is done, when it's not done. After a while in community college, I kind of got myself on the right path, decided to study accounting, ended up on the board of the community college, on the board of governors, got scholarships, did really well, went on to my undergraduate studies in accounting and business management at the Eller College of Management, which is at the University of Arizona. Continued on my path there. So scholarships, opportunities, on boards. So you can start seeing, and we'll discuss this a little bit later, how my persona began to change. So it went from party schools and rock and roll events to business orientation and being on boards, being invited to boards, having my opinion asked for. So things started to change. After I graduated, went on to Syracuse University, got my MBA, and this is where I'm at now. So I love teaching. I've taught in high school, usually math and business. I run 4 companies now. So I do consulting in one company, data collection. So I have a strong data analysis background. I have a bookkeeping company. And then I opened up my own high school. And so I still teach at the high school level. And then I just started a technology company, and we're in the process of getting that started. So again, a lot of business background. So why business communication? Well, one thing I want you to start doing is I want you to start shifting your thinking. I know you're in a medical billing program. You probably are only thinking that far for right now, but realize that you are a business, okay? This business communications is not just isolated to certain events or certain organizations or big corporations. You are your business. Everywhere you go, you're going to be viewed in a certain way. And even when you're in an office and you're at the bottom of the ladder, people are still watching you and watching how you interact with people and what you can offer the organization. And so you are your business. Even if you don't have a business, you are always your business. And so communications is one of those things that when employers are surveyed, they always say we wish our employees just could communicate better, could get along in teams better, which has a lot to do with communications. We call these things soft skills. So the hard skills are knowing how to do the medical coding, knowing how to do accounting, knowing how to code a computer. Those are technical skills. Soft skills are knowing how to tell someone bad news, being empathetic, getting people to follow you and do the things that you think need to be done. So there's a difference between being a boss who tells people what to do and being a leader who gets people on board onto projects. So that's why business communications is very important, because we can have all these thoughts in our head, but unless we're able to convey those thoughts to others to reach a goal, it doesn't do us any good. So that's what we're going to work on technically in this class, is how to get the awesome thoughts in your head either onto paper or into an email or a report, or the different channels that we'll learn as we go through this to convey those ideas to others to help your career, whether you stick with medical coding and billing, or you move on to a different area, or you become a supervisor in those areas. Business communication is a core skill, and is a skill because a lot of people don't do it well, or can't do it, or haven't learned to do it. So what you're going to leave this class with is a skill, because you are always your resume. So even when you're not in the office and you're just out having dinner, people notice you, and people will continue to notice you. And there are always opportunities available if that's what you seek. So we're going to take a look at the syllabus, go over some basic, the logistics of the class, so you can have a clear understanding of what's going on. Okay, so welcome back. Well, I'm the only one who left, actually. So I just want to take you through this syllabus. That way we don't have to go through it in class. But what I do want you to do is I want you to acknowledge that you've gone through this with me. And to do that, I want you to send me an email. So at the top of the syllabus, and this file is located in the share files that you have access to in Cohort 9. My email, so that's the best email to get a hold of me at. So in the subject line, you're going to put your name hyphen syllabus acknowledgement. You can type nothing into the body, or you can type something. We are going to go over later on how to write an email. Right now is not the time. Actually what I need you to write in the body is, I have read and understood the syllabus. Okay, you don't have to put anything else. You don't have to put dear so-and-so, sincerely so-and-so. Just put, I have read and understand the syllabus. Send me that email. We're good to go. So let's go over this email, and please do that by whenever you turn in your quizzes, and we'll take a quick look at that when we go. And I think it's Saturday, but we'll take a quick look when we arrive. So this is business communications. We are meeting. That's me. I get to put letters at the back of my name, which is really exciting. We're meeting on Thursdays from 6 to 9, from 11:04 to 11:18. This is just covering your probationary period. So for those of you who move on after the probationary period, and I hope that's all of you, this is just the first 3 weeks. When we're past that, and you'll go on to Thanksgiving break after that. So there'll be another syllabus where it'll do weeks 4 through 9. So this just tells you what we're going to talk about as far as business communication, and I'll let you read through that yourselves. So books. What we're going to do is, besides coming to class, there isn't a textbook. I'll have YouTube videos for you, articles. I believe there's in week 2 a link to a chapter in a textbook. So right now, you don't need to worry about buying a book for this class. What you want to do, though, besides that, and all of those, they should have links in the syllabus. So when you go there, you can just click them on. It'll take you straight to the YouTube video or the articles. You want to, because we are going to do a industry report. There's this thing called IBIS World, and it's super handy, super effective. They already do a lot of the work. It is available at your library, at the LaGuardia Community College Library, for free. These reports are so awesome that if you did not have like a school that carried it in their library, you would have to pay $10,000 per article. So this is an amazing opportunity. Take advantage of it. One of the great things you can do too is talk to, and I know right now with everything going on, I'm pretty sure your librarian is checking their email. Get to know your librarian, because a lot of times, if you just tell your librarian, this is what I'm working on, they will know to go where to find the great information and things you never thought of, or they would have just finished reading an article themselves and can go, oh my goodness, I just read this. This is perfect for what you're working on. Knowing your librarian is a great resource. So I really suggest that, especially when we learn how to do an official business style email, that you email your librarian and say, just introduce yourself and get to know them and see the amazing ways that they can help you. Now, what we have here is an optional textbook. And what I mean by optional is it's a great book. This is the same book I used during my undergrad, and my business communication class was probably the best class I took my whole undergrad. And when I saw this book, it was still $120, just like it is now. And I threw a fit. It is probably one of the few books that I still open up because it is still useful years after I've graduated. I still use it. It's a lot of what I've referenced for this class. It is still $120. However, the latest edition does offer a whole lot of great information, especially with covering presenting on Zoom and other platforms. But the prior editions are still great. And it's actually what I have. I know I have it lying around on my floor here. And I've seen it online, like at eBay, in used textbook stores for about $7, $8. So I strongly encourage you to get this book at the cheaper price. I'm going to strongly encourage you not to pay the $120 for it. But if you can find the older edition, it is still great. One of the things that makes it super great is in the middle of it, it will have all the formats of everything we're doing. So if I ever say, right, indirect persuasive, you can actually just go to the book, open up in the middle. It will have a legitimate indirect persuasive format. You'll know exactly how to format everything. But it also just has great information. I strongly suggest getting a used copy. It's a great book. Okay, so what are we going to try to learn in this class? By the end of the class, I'm hoping you can write really appropriate and concise business messages. So regardless of the channels, and a channel is how we're doing it, whether we're writing a paper letter or sending an email, that's a channel. One of the most important words here is concise. So when we're going to talk about this a lot, what you may be used to is, hey, I want you to write a 10-page report, and you're using what we call flowery language, trying to make it sound very beautiful. and just make yourself sound smart. No, we're done. We don't do that anymore. We're trying to be as clear and direct as possible at all times, because people don't want, and think about it. If you had a, do you want to read a 10-page paper, not even write it? Chances are you don't. So other people in your office or your supervisors, they don't want to read a 10-page paper anyway. Just tell me really quick and we'll cover it. That's the majority of this class is going to be covering that. We're going to analyze and convey research data. So that's very important, because I could read something myself. I want you to think. So we're going to not just copy information from one source and put it in another. We're going to analyze it and start giving our opinions and backing our opinions up. We're going to talk about building a professional persona. So a professional persona is how people perceive you. So how would you perceive me differently if I wasn't here in a tie, as opposed to if I showed up in a hoodie and a baseball hat? We like to think we don't judge, but we do. And so we're going to talk about how to build a professional persona so that your future career, whatever you want to get into, you're just going to be accepted. People will think of you in a certain way. And it's really going to be up to you how you want to be thought of. And we'll talk about that as we go. You're going to leave this class knowing which of the channels and which styles to use so that you can lead a team to a particular goal. So sometimes it's better to do pencil and paper. Sometimes it's better to do email. By the end of this class, you're going to know it's not even going to be a question. You're going to have the instinct to do that. And you're going to leave this class being able to communicate and persuade stakeholders. And that just means convincing people to do things your way. So a lot of what you're going to do is really to advance your career and to get people to see you as a leader. And there's that word leverage again. So I'm going to leave that up to you to ask about that during class. So attendance, it's there in your syllabus. Classes are online. I need you to have your camera on. If you show up 10 minutes late, you'll be marked late. If you show up more than 30 minutes late, it's considered an absence. 3 latenesses will count as 1 absence. This is a very awesome program and opportunity that you're getting. Please don't throw it away. If you are having computer problems, logging onto Zoom or something, it happens. It happens all the time. Shoot me an email. You have your email. Let me know, hey, Zoom is doing such and such. I get it. In an ideal world, we all log in 30 minutes early and everything works. We're not in an ideal world. A lot of what we're going to go over as well is the things aren't perfect. It's how you deal with them. So for the classes, just try to show up on time. I myself try to show up 15 minutes early just in case anyone has any questions. If there's an issue, email it to me. So absences, if you exceed 7 absences, and we're only going through 3 weeks in the first part, you'll be terminated from the program. And that's just because there's so many people wanting to be here. You know, you just can't take up space. So there is a student code of conduct. I want you to go ahead and look over that. You know, basically be respectful. Be respectful of my time, your time, and your colleagues' time in this classroom. No physical violence. Please respect everybody's backgrounds, because we will get into talks of each other's backgrounds. Be respectful of where people have come from and various diversity issues, and realize that it's the diversity of everyone in this class that is going to make your experience richer and better and your future stronger. So this is the LaGuardia grading scale. It's done on a plus-minus scale. So this will tell you what you need to reach certain grades. You need a 96 to get an A. A 90 will get you an A-. I'm really hoping that you're all shooting for higher grades. You must earn a minimum of a 74, so a C, to continue on to not only continue on past the probationary period, but to also just get your certificate in this program. And I mentioned before, I'm not here to try to stop you from moving on. If you do the work, if you attend, if you watch these videos, if you just put a little bit of effort, you're going to be fine. If you put more effort, you're going to be amazing. So this is all up to you. This is all what you want to make of it and what you want to do with your future. So in these first 3 weeks, we're going to grade things. You're going to get 25% for participating in class. So there's a couple of like in-class writing assignments or working with your team, a lot of teamwork. So you're going to be working on teams. 20% is attendance. So that's a big chunk just for showing up. There are a couple of quizzes. All the quizzes are based off of the materials, either stuff I said in class, stuff from the articles. I try not to make it tricky. That's not my intent. A lot of times it is just multiple choice. If it isn't multiple choice, I'm not looking for a super amazing answer. I'm just looking to see that you put a little bit of thought into what I had you read. You are, when in any of these, when I do ask you like a question or your opinion, you are allowed to contradict me or to say, no, I don't agree with you. Would love to hear that if that's how you feel. And one of your final projects in this first 3 weeks before we go on is going to be a recommendation email. And that's going to be 35% of your grade. So there's a good balance of things going on. It's, again, not designed to trip you up or to try to be sneaky, but designed to really get you to learn things so that you could get stronger and better. And really, I want you to show up at a job interview and they're not hesitating at all to hire you. They're like, yes, you're everything we wanted. So what does class participation mean? It means showing up on time, doing the in-class assignments, and turning in a team evaluation, which means your teammates are going to be evaluating you. So it also means being a good, just a good teammate, which is, again, going back to why do we teach business communications? Because there's a lot of not good teammates out there. And so we're trying to get you to be the best teammates. By being the best teammates, like I said, then people are going to be like, yes, we want this person. Because even when I'm hiring for my businesses, I can teach you how to do things. I can teach you how to be a bookkeeper. I can teach you how to code. But having you be someone willing to learn and wanting to learn and doing all these soft skills, that's different. And so that's very often what I'm looking for when hiring in my own business ventures. So we just have 3 weeks. So we're going to take a quick look. All this stuff over here. So this is what we'll do in class. This async, there usually will be a video and read. I get it. So I'm not expecting you on each one of these to have everything read and watched by the time you show up to class. I will say, if you do have it, if you treat this as this is what I should know before I show to class, class is going to be, I would say, 25% easier because you'll have all that information in your head rather than afterwards. But I also get it. Timing, first class throws everything off. After class, and by the next week, I will expect you to have read and do all these things, especially these first portions right here. So communication style quiz, it's just to get to know you, and so that we can see how you will be on your teams and which teams would be best for you. But so whatever is written here is due next week. Better to do it before class. On the actual deliverables, so stuff to turn in, there will be a hard due date. So this is due on the 5th, so the day after class. I'm in Tucson, Arizona, which means right now I'm 3 hours behind you. When we do the changing of the clock, I will be 2 hours behind you because we don't change our clocks in Arizona. Don't know why, we just don't. So on your due date, what time it's due is essentially midnight. But I'm hoping I'm not up in midnight. So if it happens, if you're going to stay up, I mean, you're already getting 2 extra hours, so it's not due till 2 a.m. But if for whatever reasons, jobs or just you didn't get to it, essentially the morning is going to be fine. I'm not going to be up at 3 a.m. trying to grade your papers. So in week two, we're really going to get locked in on how to start an opening paragraph. Really strong skill, and that's going to be a skill to go through all your writings. We're going to look at how do we do a strong 4-sentence opening paragraph so that people want to read what we're doing. You're going to meet your new teams and spend a little time doing on there. You're going to start writing a recommendation email as a team, and we're going to talk about just connecting. We're also going to start into an assignment for your business portfolio. And what that's going to be for those continuing on with the full program. At this end of the program, you will have a business portfolio of various writings. And I'll talk about that when I post that business portfolio video later next week. And for the third week of this, it is going to be it's going to be the busy week. So we're going to do a lot of teamwork. We're going to do a lot of working on things, and see right there, the link kicked on for one of the videos. A lot of in-class teamwork. We're going to do in-class writing. So please be prepared for that. You'll get some instructions for another assignment and a lot of lectures. And as you go out, there'll be one more quiz. There'll also be a team evaluation. And all of this will go to determine whether you move on or not to the rest of the program. Again, I'm not looking to keep you out of anything or keep you from achieving any goals. If you do the work and, try your hardest, there's no reason you shouldn't. If you put in extra work, that is always going to be great. It's always going to reflect on you, and you'll get the most out of this class. So that's it for the syllabus. Send me that email and we'll finish up this video. You can get on your way, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so now that you know what we're going to be doing in the class a little bit more and how to do it, let's talk about the goal of the class. So the goal of the class is for you to be awesome. Awesomer. And to do that, I need to teach you some important things. So you being successful, not just in your next step in your career, but I'm looking to make you successful in the lifetime of your career. So the only way that I can be successful is that if you are successful. And I like being successful. So I'm going to try everything I can to get you to where you need to be. Now, lighting, we'll go over that in a future unit. So what we're going to do is we're going to push you. I'm not going to tell you that this is going to be a super easy class. I want you to get uncomfortable in this class, because that's where the learning happens, is when you're uncomfortable. But I also want you to know that I'm not trying to punish you. I am not trying to make things so difficult for you that you want to give up. So again, we're in this together. So if you have a question, reach out to me. Reach out to another instructor, anyone involved in this program. Just reach out and say, I need help. Because if you don't communicate that, we don't know it. And so, again, what we're going to do is we're going to go on this journey. And like any life journey, it's better to do it together than on our own. So we're in this together. And if I really is my goal to get you to a place that when you go to work, you have the leverage. And that's going to be an overriding theme of this class. Now, I'm not going to explain it now. I'm going to leave it up to one of you to go ahead and ask me during one of our classes, what do you mean about leverage? And I want you to ask so we can talk about it Because my hope is for you, whatever your dreams are, whether they are at medical billing and to be happy doing that the rest of your life, or to go on to do something else in a completely different industry, I want you to be successful by how you define success. So whether that's making tons of money, whether that's being happy, whether that's loving your job, whether that's going home every day feeling you did something good for the world. I want you to be able to feel that, not just for while you're in this class, or for when you're in this program, or when you move on to your first job, but for the rest of your life. So that's our goal. We're going to do it together, and we're going to start.